Hey guys, my name is Nutch, and welcome back to Pokemon Violet, not Scarlet. In the last part, we defeated Nemona for the last time. And in this part, I did say a while back that I wanted to go through the entire Pokedex, because there's not much really left to this game now. So I'm here on Violet because it's the only game out of the two that I've completed the Pokedex on. So I'm here back in the room because why not start a journey in the room, then finish the journey in our own room. So let's get started on the Pokedex, shall we? So there's 400 entries. Oh, and really quick, so when I got that Jotoni and Wooper, I got those 3 eggs that I got from breeding. Just a heads up, if you want to get like Jotoni and Woopers through breeding, you need to have an Everstone on the Wooper. Otherwise, it's going to be a Paldean Wooper, and I learnt that the hard way. So, just to let you guys know that. So, alright, first off on the Paldean Pokedex is Sprigatito, the grass cat Pokemon. Alright, what is Sprigatito? The sweet scent its body gives is mesmerizes those around it. The scent grows stronger when this Pokemon is in the sun. Oh, okay, so it's got like the features of a plant, like natural for grass types. Alright, Florigato, its evolved form. It's a grass cat Pokemon. The hardness of Florigato's fur depends on the Pokemon's mood. When Florigato is prepared to battle, its fur becomes pointed and needle sharp. Oh, okay. And that little thing on its like that is chest there, it's like a yo-yo sort of thing. I thought that was pretty cool. Here we go, Meowscarada, the magician Pokemon. With skillful misdirection, it rigs foes with pollen-packed flower bombs. Meowscarada sets off the bombs before its foes realize what's going on. I'm guessing it creates those flower bombs by that little thing behind it. Fuecoco! Alright, going off with our starter. Its flame sac is small, so energy is always leaking out. This energy is released from the dent atop Fuecoco's head and flickers to and fro. Alright. Alright, Crocolore. The valve in Crocolore's flame sac is closely connected to its vocal cords. This Pokemon utters a guttural cry as it spews flames from every which way. Alright. I like the fact that it does look like a sombrero, but it's like also like a nest for its egg. That's actually pretty cool. And then here we go, Skeledirge. Skeledirge's gentle singing soothes the souls of all that hear it. It burns its enemies to a crisp with flames of over 5,400 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh my! Alright, Quaxly, the duckling Pokemon. Its strong legs let it easily swim around, even in fast-flowing rivers. It likes to keep things tidy and is prone to overthinking things. Oh, well, I'm kind of with you on there, Quaxly. I mean, I kind of like to keep things neat and tidy, but at the same time, I just like leave things around and just leave them where they are. Alright, Quaxwell, the practicing Pokemon. The hard-working Quaxwell observes people and Pokemon from various regions and incorporates their movements into its own dance routines. That's pretty cool. So if you have like a Quaxwell in like different regions of the Pokemon world, it just changes, it incorporates their movements. So that's actually pretty cool. You can go like, say like back in Unova in the, I forgot what town it was, but it was like the one with the ice gym. And I have like those people dancing around and like to the music. It was actually quite nice to see that. Alright. Quacklevar. I'm just gonna say that. The dancer Pokemon. Dancing in ways that invoke in far away places, this Pokemon mesmerizes all that see it. Flourishes of its decorative water feathers slice into its foes. So those things... Oh, wow, jeez. That's a bit, scary. Alright, Lechonk. I actually got a shiny version of on this save file, so this is what shiny Lechonk looks like. Lechonk, the hog Pokemon. This Pokemon spurs all but the finest of foods. Its body gives off a herb-like scent that bug Pokemon detest. Oh, so bug Pokemon hate the smell of this Pokemon. Okay. And then we've got Oinkologne, the hog Pokemon. This is its male form. Can I... Ah, here we go. That's what its female form looks like. It entrances female Pokemon with the sweet scent, a sweet, alluring scent that wafts from all over its body. Okay, and this is the female's one. This is a Metisculus. I'm just gonna say that. I'm sorry if I butchered some of these words or Pokemon names. I have trouble doing that. That Pokemon that likes to keep things tidy. It shrouds itself in a floral aroma that soothes the Pokemon around it. Okay. Alright, Tarantula, string ball Pokemon. The thread it secretes from its rear is as strong as wire. The secret behind the thread's strength is the topic of ongoing research. Spidops, the trap Pokemon. Spidops covers its territory in tough, sticky threads to set up traps for intruders. Alright, here we go. Our Nimble, the grasshopper Pokemon. It's highly skilled at a fighting style in which it uses its jumping capabilities to dodge incoming attacks while also dealing damage to opponents. Alright, that's pretty cool. And then our Lokex, here we go. The grasshopper Pokemon. It uses its normally folded third set of legs when in showdown mode. This places a huge burden on its body, so it can't stay in this mode for too long. Is it talking about those... Oh, it's talking about like those things on the back of it. I did not know they were actually the third set of legs. But that's kind of understandable as well, because we have kind of seen it in showdown mode when it uses physical attacks. So that's pretty cool. There we go, we got to a familiar Pokemon. Hoppip, the cottonweed Pokemon. Outside of cold regions, Hoppip can be found practically anywhere, or everywhere. This is because the wind carries the species all around the world. Wow. So it just catches the wind, and if it happens to be in that certain region, they just live there until then, like, the wind catches it again, and it just goes to a different place in the world. Wow. So practically everywhere. Alright, Skiploom, the cottonweed Pokemon. When the weather grows cold, Skiploom's flower closes and the Pokemon cannot photosynthesize, so it flies away to warmer regions. Oh, that's actually pretty cool. Alright, here we go. Jumpluff, the cottonweed Pokemon. Beware its cotton spores. If you accidentally breathe them in, you'll be racked with coughs and itchiness. Wow. I wouldn't want to be near a Jumpluff if that's the case. Okay, Fletchling, the tiny robin Pokemon. Fletchling can be found in both rural and urban areas. They once had a huge territorial dispute with Squawkabilly. Fights broke out all over town. Ooh, okay, so we'll get to what Squawkabilly is a bit soon. Alright, Fletchinder, the Amber Pokemon. Its territory has a radius of just over a mile. If any bird Pokemon should enter, it will show them no mercy. Jeez, Fletchinder, it's actually a bit terrifying. Talonflame, the scorching Pokemon. When it gets excited, it vents sparks from the gap between its feathers. These unburnable feathers are used as fireproof material. Oh, that's pretty cool. Alright, Pawmi, the mouse Pokemon, the Pikachu clone of this generation. The pads of its paws are electricity discharging organs. Pawmi fires electricity from its forepaws while standing unsteadily on its hind legs. Okay. Alright, next one is Pawmo, the mouse Pokemon. Pawmo uses a unique fighting technique in which it uses four paws to strike foes and zap them with electricity from its paw pads simultaneously. Okay. Alright, Pawmot, the hands-on Pokemon. Pawmot's fluffy fur acts as a battery. It can store the same amount of electricity as an electric car. Oh, that's actually pretty cool. Like, if you just need a battery, just get yourself a Pawmot. Alright, so Houndour, the dark Pokemon. It uses different kinds of cries for communicating with others of its kind or for pursuing its prey. Okay. My apologies if this is not, like, interesting to watch. I'm just trying to find something that I can find in this game to show off, so why not the entire Pokedex? Alright, so Houndoom, the dark Pokemon. Upon hearing its eerie howls, other Pokemon get the shivers and head straight back into their nest. Jeez, this thing... If that's the case, I wonder what type of Pokemon would shiver and head back to their nest if they hear Houndoom. I just imagine, like, big Pokemon, like, intimidating Pokemon would run away from this thing. Yungoos, the loitering Pokemon. It spends its waking hours searching endlessly for food. When Yungoos is hungry, its ferocity gains a certain edge. Alright. Gumshoos, the stakeout Pokemon. Gumshoos specializes in relentlessly tracking down prey. The simple-minded Squaver doesn't seem to provide Gumshoos enough challenge. Oh, Squavert! Here we go, number 29, Squavert. No matter how much it stuffs its belly with the food, it's always anxious about getting hungry again. So it stashes berries in its cheek and tail. Alright, then it's evolved form, Gradient! This Pokemon makes off with heaps of fallen berries by wrapping them in its tail, which is roughly twice the length of its body. Yeah, look how big its tail is! Alright, Sunkern! It is very weak. Its only means of defense is to shake its leaves desperately at its attackers. Oh, well, I feel sorry for this Sunkern. Sunflora. Since it converts sunlight into energy, it's always looking in the direction of the sun. Oh. Alright, Kricketot. When its antennae hit each other, it sounds like the music of a xylophone. Yeah, like the... What was it? How does a Kricketot go again? Like... Or something like that. That was my worst impression of a Pokemon cry. Cricketune! I had to. I love Cricketoone's cry. There is a village that hosts a contest based on the amazingly variable cries of this Pokemon. Oh, that's pretty cool. Alright, Scatterbug! This Pokemon scatters poisonous powder to repel enemies. It will eat different plants depending on where it lives. Okay. Spupa! Spupa doesn't live in a fixed location. It roams where it pleases across the fields and mountains, building up the energy it needs to evolve. And then its evolved form, Vivillon. Oh yeah, Vivillon. Alright, just gonna say that. The scale Pokemon. So there are different types of patterns that this Pokemon can have. I will put on screen of what those patterns will look like. There's like unique ones, like there's a Pokeball one, I think. That's all I know for the special ones. I not really like haven't really got to like catching all of the different types of Vivillon. So I'll just put on screen of what they look like, and there you go. This Pokemon was born in a mysterious land. It scatters colorful, toxic scales from its wings during battle. Also, those are actually poisonous. Oh, jeez. Alright then. Combee, the tiny bee Pokemon. The trio is together from birth. It constantly gathers nectar from flowers to please Vespiquen. Make sure you have a female Combee if you want to use one for your team. because that's the only way you can evolve it into a Vespiquen. Alright, and here's Vespiquen, the beehive Pokemon. It raises grubs in the holes of its body. It secretes pheromones, or yeah, something like that, to control Combi. Okay, and so you got like the queen bee thing going on. And then Combi is like the worker bees and all that. Alright, Rookidee! The females are fussier than the males. If other creature dirties a female Rookidee's wings, it will peck the offender relentlessly in a burning rage. Jeez, okay! Corvisquire. This intelligent Pokemon will quickly learn how to use any tool it can hold in its beak or in its talons. That's actually really impressive. I didn't think Corvisquire can actually, like, learn how to use different types of tools in its beak or in its talons. That's actually pretty cool. Alright, here we go. Corviknight. Although its wings have partly turned to steel and become heavy as a result, this Pokemon flies through the skies with ease. It doesn't really look like it's made out of steel. It looked like you got like its body, its face, like it's like the back of its wings. You can see it right there. Its talons as well. They're made out of metal, but those, like, I guess, like, it just weighs it down or something like that. Alright, Happiny. It carefully carries a round white rock that it thinks it's an egg. It's bothered by how curly its hair looks. Really? Okay. Okay, Chansey. It walks carefully to prevent its egg from breaking. However, it is extremely fast at running away. Oh boy, yeah, definitely. Blissey. The eggs it lays are filled with happiness. Eating even one bite will bring a smile to anyone. Oh my, okay, that's pretty cool. Azurill. Its tail is packed full of the nutrients it needs to grow. I guess that's why it's got a big ball for a tail. That explains it. Alright, Marill. The oil-filled tail functions as a buoy, so it's fine even in rivers with strong currents. Okay. Azumarill. By keeping still and listening intently, it can tell when it is even wild, fast. It can tell what is in even wild, fast-moving rivers. Surskit. It secretes a thick, sweet-scented syrup from the tip of its head. It lives on in weed-choked ponds. So that thing on top of its head secretes syrup. Sure. Masquerain. The antennae have distinctive patterns that look like eyes. When it rains, they grow heavy, making flight impossible. Alright. Weasel. It inflates its flotation sac, keeping its face above the water in order to watch for prey movement. Floatzel. It is a common sight around fishing ports. It is known to rescue people and help fishers carry what they caught. Oh, what a helpful Pokemon. Alright, Wooper! Love this dude. I love Wooper as a Pokemon. It's dangerous for Wooper to travel alone. They'll line up in groups of 3 or 4 and help each other as they walk around the wetlands. Clodsire. It lives at the bottom of ponds and swamps. It will carry Wooper on its back and ferry them across water from one shore to the other. I love how this thing looks. Psyduck. If its chronic headache peaks, it may exhibit odd powers. It seems unable to recall such an episode. If that's the case, this thing should have been a part psychic type as well. It swims gracefully along the quiet, slow-moving rivers and lakes from which it is so fond. Oh, Golduck. I didn't say its name. Choodle! A popular game among children is to lift up sticks from that Choodle have bitten onto to see whose Choodle can hang on the longest. I like how Jesse's Choodle from the anime, like, just latches onto like the tip of her hair and she just like throws it into battle. I thought that was like pretty funny. Alright, here we go. Dreadnought. Dreadnought lurks on the long side of the shoreline. When prey come to drink water, Dreadnought stretches out its neck and chomps down on them. That would be painful, because look at that, look at them chompers. Igglybuff. It likes to sing but is not yet good at it. With praise and encouragement, it will get better little by little. And then it'll evolve into the Jigglypuff. If it inflates to sing a lullaby, it can perform longer and cause slow drowsiness in its audience. Now that Jigglypuff from the anime that gets angry and then draws on you when you fall asleep to its lullaby. Wigglytuff. The rich fluffy fur that covers its body feels so good that anyone who feels it cannot stop touching it. Oh, I did not know that. Ralts. It is highly attuned to the emotions of people and Pokemon. It hides if it senses hostility. Hurlia. The cheerful spirit of its trainer gives its energy for its psychokinetic power. It spins and dances when it's happy. Gardevoir. It unleashes psychokinetic energy at full power when protecting a trainer it has bonded closely with. Gallade. Because it can sense what its foes is thinking, its attacks burst out first, fast, and fierce. Drowsy. When it twitches its nose, it can tell where someone is sleeping and what that person is dreaming about. I don't like that. Hypno. Always holding a pendulum that it swings at a steady rhythm. It causes drowsiness in anyone nearby. Ghastly. Its body is made out of gas, despite lacking substance. It can envelop an opponent of any size and cause suffocation. Oh boy. That's horrifying. Haunter. In total darkness, where nothing is visible, Haunter lurks, silently stalking its next victim. Oh jeez. Gengar. Hiding in people's shadows at night, it absorbs their heat. The chill it causes makes the victim shake. Ooh. Tandemaus. The pair sticks together no matter what. They split any food they find exactly in half and then eat it together. Well, that's pretty cute. Mousehold. Okay, this one's got the family of 3, but I'm pretty sure there's like the family of 4 you can get. The little one just appeared one day. They all live together like a family, but the relationship between the 3 is still unclear. So it just randomly shows up when it evolves. Okay. Pichu. Despite this Pokemon's cute appearance, those who want to live with one should prepare to be on the receiving end of its electric jolts. Pikachu. When several of these Pokemon gather, their electricity can build and causes lightning storms. Whoa! I did not know that about Pikachu! Alright, Raichu. If the electric pouches in its cheeks become fully charged, both ears will stand straight up. Fido, here we go. The yeast in Fido's breath is useful for cooking, so this Pokemon has been protected by people since long ago. Dashbun. The surface of this Pokemon's skin hardens when exposed to intense heat, and its body has an appetizing aroma. Oh, I really... as a Dashbun trainer, I really don't want to think or see someone eating this thing. Oh, Slack Off. The way Slack Off lolls around makes anyone who watches it feel like doing the same. You know what? I'm with you on that one. I just want to be lazy, man. Vigoroth. It is always hungry because it won't stop rampaging. Even while it's eating, it can't keep still. Slacking. This Pokemon lives lying on its side. It only rolls over and moves when there's no more grass to eat. Bonsweet. A gradient drawn in by the sweet scent of this Pokemon will tuck the Bonsweet in among the berries in its tail and carry them away. So it just kidnaps them. Or Pokemon naps them. I don't know. Steenie! Steenie bounces energetically through forests. If the rind that peels off its body is pulverized, it can be used to treat stomach pains. Oh. Starina. This Pokemon launches fierce yet elegant kicks with its long, slender legs. It views Quacklevar as its rival. I can kind of see it. Smoliv! This Pokemon converts nutrients into oil, which it stores in the fruit of its head. It can easily go a whole week without eating or drinking. Dolliv! It basks in the sun to its heart's content until the fruits on its head ripen. After that, Dolliv departs from the human settlements and goes on a journey. Abolivia. This Pokemon drives back enemies by launching its rich aromatic oil at them with enough force to smash a boulder! Whoa! Bonsly! Or Bonsly, or Bonsly, or however you want to pronounce it. From its eyes, it can expel excess moisture from its body. This liquid is similar in composition to human sweat. Oh, so whenever it's crying, it's like human sweat? Oh. Sudowoodo. To avoid being attacked, it does nothing but mimic a tree. It hates water and flees from the rain. Fitting because it's a rock type. Rockruff. This Pokemon travels in a pack with its others until it's grown up. When its mood turns sour, it starts striking the ground with the rocks on its neck. Lycanroc, midday form, and this is what midnight form looks like, and I haven't actually gotten a dusk form, so I'll put a picture of that on screen to show you what it looks like. It has a calm and collective demeanor. It swiftly closes in on its prey, then slices them with the rocks in its mane. Roly-Coly. Chunks of the surface of this Pokemon's body that have grown old and flaked off have long been used for fuel as an alternative to coal. Carkol. Due to the coal tar created inside it, the heap of coal on Carkol's back never falls apart, even when the Pokemon rolls around at high speeds. That's pretty impressive. Colossal. It's gentle usually, but fearsome when angered. With a body that burns at over 2,700 degrees Fahrenheit, it crushes its foes and turns them into ash! What? Remind me to stay away from a Colossal. Shinx. The extension and contraction of its muscles generate electricity. Its fur glows when it's in trouble. Luxio. By gathering their tails together, they collectively generate powerful electricity from their claws. Luxray. Luxray's ability to see through objects comes in handy when it's scouting for danger. That's really cool. Starly. Because they're weak individually, they form groups. However, they bicker if the group grows too big. Staravia. Oh, wait. Wait, does it have a... Yeah, I can't really tell which one's a female apart. They maintain huge flocks, although fierce scuffles break out between various flocks. Staraptor. It never stops attacking, even if it's injured. It fusses over the shape of its comb. Oh. Oricorio. This form of Oricorio has sipped red nectar. It whips off blazing flames as it moves to the steps of its passionate dance. The energetic, cheerful dance of these Oricorio is popular with children, but the Oricorio themselves are hard to find in Paldea. Oh, I only got the two. I don't have the other two forms. Mareep. Its fleece grows continually. In the summer, the fleece is fully shed, but it grows back in a week. Flaffy. Because of its rubbery, electricity-resistant skin, it can store lots of electricity in its fur. Ampharos. When it gets dark, the light from its bright, shiny tail can be seen from far away on the ocean's surface. Patil. Or Patilli. Patil. I'm just going to say that. If the leaves on its head are pruned with regularity, this Pokemon can be grown into a fine, plump shape. Lilligant. No matter how much time and money is spent on raising it, its flowers are the most beautiful when they bloom in the wild. Shroomish. If it senses danger, it scatters spores from the top of its head to protect itself. Breloom. The seeds on its tail are made of toxic spores. It knocks out foes with quick, virtually invisible punches. Applin. Applin lives inside an apple. When an applin is separated from its apple, its body loses moisture and the Pokemon grows weak. Flapple. It uses its own body liquid to repair its apple. Strong Flapple that have won many battles have apples that are clay-colored all over. Appleton. When some Lechonk come along to lick the sweet nectar on Appleton's back, Appleton will spew sticky nectar at them to drive them away. Oh. Spoink. It uses its tail like spring. It keeps its heart beating by bouncing constantly. If it stops, it dies. What? Are you saying if that thing stops bouncing, it just dies? Moving on! Grumpig. It uses black pearls to amplify its psychic power. It does a strange dance to control foes' mind. Squawkabilly. The yellow Squawkabilly are especially fierce. They have been known to drive other bird out of town. Blue-feathered Squawkabilly view their green-feathered counterparts as rivals, since the latter make up the largest, most powerful groups. Green-feathered flocks hold the most sway. When they're out searching for food in the mornings and evenings, it gets very noisy. I'm pretty sure there's a white one, but I don't have that one. Misdreavus! It loves to bite and yank people's hair from behind without warning, just to see their shocked reactions. You're a meanie! You meanie bobini! Mismagius. It cries out like incantations to torment the foe. It appears where you least expect it. Makuhita. It toughens up by slamming into thick trees over and over. It gains a sturdy body and a dauntless spirit. Hariyama. It stomps on the ground to build power. It can send a 10-ton truck, flying with a straight arm punch. Crabrawler. If it loses its pincers, they quickly regrow. The pincers are popular ingredients in a paella, since their shells produce a tasty soup stock. Crabominable. Though its punches are powerful, this Pokemon's movements are sluggish. It blows icy bubbles from its mouth to immobilize its opponents. Salandit. Only female Salandit can produce a gas laden with pheromones. Males entranced by this gas will do whatever the female tells them. Again, with Combee, you're going to need a female Salandit to evolve into a Salazzle. When two Salazzle meet, they will use their pheromone gas to fight over the males in each other's groups. Phanpy. I love this Pokemon. It's so cute looking. It is far stronger than it appears. If a Phanpy is swinging its tusk around and your arm gets hit by it, your arm bone will shatter. You're telling me this thing can break my bones with one swing of its trunk? That's horrifying. Donphan. Donphan is normally a calm Pokemon, but once it is enraged, it will curl its body into a ball and charge at you while rolling. That's a scary thought. Cufant. Cufant can lift loads weighing 5 tons. In the mornings, it heads into caves with its herd in search of the ore in which these Pokemon feed. Copperajah. Copperajah are prideful, cantankerous Pokemon. Specimens with vibrant green skin command the respect of others of their kind. Gibble. It nests in horizontal holes warmed by geothermal heat. Foes who get too close can expect to be pounced on and bitten. I would not want to be bitten by one of those things. Gabite. It loves sparkly things. It seeks treasure in caves and hoards the loot in its nest. Garchomp. Its protubulance on its head serve as sensors. It can even detect distant prey. Knackley. The ground scrapes its body as it travels, causing it to leave salt behind. Salt is constantly being created and replenished inside Knackley's body. Knacklestack. It compresses rock salt inside of its body and shoots out hardened salt pellets with enough force to perforate an iron sheet. Garganackle. Many Pokemon gather around Garganackle, hoping to lick at its mineral-rich salt. Did I just say many people? Many Pokemon gather around Garganackle. I swear, if I don't know what I said, but if people start licking on that thing out of nowhere, I'm not too sure it will like it. Wingull. It rides upon ocean winds as if it were a glider. In the winter, it hides food around its nest. Pelipper. It protects its young in its beak. It bobs on waves, resting on them on days when the waters are calm. Magikarp. In the distant past, it was somewhat stronger than horribly weak descendants that exist today. Okay. Gyarados. It appears whenever there is world conflict, burning down any place it travels through. Jesus! Arrokuda. It takes down prey by charging into them with its hard, pointed jaw, but Arrokuda's eyesight is poor, so this tactic has a low success rate. Barraskewda. It swims at speeds of over 100 knots and battles fiercely with pods of Finizen over prey. Basculin. It's so vicious that it's called the Thug of the River, yet Basculin is still targeted by predators such as Dondozo and Bombardier. Gulpin. It has a small heart and brain. Its stomach compresses most of its body with enzymes to dissolve anything. I don't know if I said that right. Swalot. Wait, what's the difference between... Oh, it's got shorter whiskers. Okay. It can swallow an entire whole in one gulp. It secretes a horrible toxic fluid from the pores of its body. Oh, did not mean to do that. Meowth. It loves things that sparkle. When it sees a shiny object, the gold coin on its head shines too. Persian. It has a vicious temperament. Beware Beware if it raises its tail straight up. This is a signal that it is about to pounce and bite. Drifloon. Because of the way it floats aimlessly, an old folk tale calls it the signpost for wandering spirits. For those who've read older Dex entries for this thing, it's a bit gruesome. So, if you want to learn that about it, I think it's from when it came out. I think, when Diamond and Pearl came out. Basically, don't let your children be near this thing. Drifblim! Or Driftblim. They carry people and Pokemon, but the wind can catch them, so they can't be a fixed destination. Flabébé! It unleashes a variety of moves by drawing forth the power hidden within flowers. This Pokemon is particularly fond of yellow flowers. Yeah, there are different flower of Flabebe. I think there's white, yellow, blue, and red. Ah, yeah, there's a red one for Floette. Floette! This Pokemon uses red wavelengths of light to pour its own energy into flowers and draw forth their latent potential. Florges! They say that flower gardens created by Florges are constantly showered with a power that can heal both body and spirit. Oh, that's pretty cool. Diglett! Its skin is very thin. If it exposed to light, its blood heats up, causing it to grow weak. Dugtrio. In battle, it digs through the grounds and strikes the unexpected foe from an unexpected direction. Torkoal. Coal is the source of Torkoal's energy. Large amounts of coal can be found in the mountains where they live. Numel. The flaming magma it stores in the hump of its back is the source of its tremendous power. Camerupt. If angered, the humps on its back erupt in a shower of molten lava. It lives in the craters of volcanoes. Bronzor. They are found in ancient tombs. The patterns on their back are said to be imbued with mysterious power. Bronzong. It brought rains by opening portals to another world. It was revered as the bringer of plentiful harvests. Okay, that's a weird thing of Bronzor, or Bronzong, I should say. Axew! If you see peculiar teeth marks in boulders or trees, it means an Axew is likely living nearby. Fracture. Fracture uses its thick tusk to neatly cut prey into two portions. One to eat now and one to save for later. Ugh. That's a bit gruesome. Haxorus. It overwhelms enemies with its prized tusks, which are sharp enough to cut through a metal transmission tower in one strike. Jeez. Mankey. It is extremely quick to anger. It can be docile one moment, then thrashing away the next instant. Primeape. Some researchers theorize that Primeape remains angry even when inside a Pokeball. That's pretty interesting. Annihilate. It imbues its fist with the power of the rage that it kept hidden in its heart. Opponents struck by these imbued fists will be shattered to the core. So this is also a pretty cool thing that in older dex entries for Primeape, that it says it can go so angry that it just dies. So then it will probably become an Annihilate. Meditite. It meditates to heighten its inner energy and float in the air. It eats one berry a day. Medicham. Oh, there's different versions of it. It elegantly avoids attacks with dance-like steps, then launches a devastating blow in the same motion. Oh, Riolu. Riolu! It has a peculiar power of being able to see emotions, such as joy and rage in the form of waves. Lucario! A well-trained one can use its aura to identify and take in the feelings of creatures over half a mile away. Charcadet! Its firepower increases when it fights, reaching over 1,800 degrees Fahrenheit. It likes berries that are rich in fat. Armarouge. This Pokemon clads itself in armor that has been fortified by psychic and fire energy, and it shoots blazing fireballs. Cerulege. An old set of armor steeped in grudges caused this Pokemon's evolution. Cerulege cuts its enemies to pieces without mercy. Barboach. It probes muddy riverbeds with its two long whiskers. A slimy film protects its body. Whiscash. Sighting Whiscash leaping from the water is believed to and herald an earthquake. Oh boy. Tadbulb! It floats using the electricity stored in its body. When thunderclouds are around, Tadbulb will float higher off the ground. Bellybolt! What appear to be eyeballs are actually organs for discharging the electricity generated by Bellybolt's belly button dynamo. Wait, so... Oh, wait, so that's its eyes. I can see it blinking. That's actually pretty interesting. Goomy. Goomy's horns are excellent sensory organs that cover all 5 of Goomy's senses. Goomy picks up on danger from the movement of the air. Sliggoo. When Sliggoo senses danger, the mucus coating its entire body becomes even more concentrated. It dissolves anything. Goodra. This Pokemon is uncontrollable when enraged. It rampages on and on, lashing its tail with enough power to send a dump truck flying. It is hard to believe that this Pokemon is uncontrollable and it's enraged. I mean, look at that thing! Croagunk. It rarely fights fairly, but that is strictly to ensure survival. It is popular as a mascot. Toxicroak. It has a poison sac at its throat. When it croaks, the stored poison is churned for greater potency. Wattrel. These Pokemon make their nests in coastal cliffs. The nests have a strange crackling texture, and they're a popular delicacy. What, people eat these things? What? So good I saved one of them and using her as a teammate. Killer Wattrel. It uses its throat sac to store electricity generated by its wings. There are hardly any oil in its feathers, so it is a poor swimmer. Eevee. Its genetic code is irregular. It may mutilate... I don't know. If it is exposed to radiation from elemental stones. Vaporeon. Its cell composition is similar to water molecules. As a result, it can't be seen when it melts away into water. Jolteon. If agitated, it uses electricity to straighten out its fur and launch into small bunches. Flareon. It fluffs out its fur collar to cool down its body temperature. Which can reach 1,650 degrees Fahrenheit. Espeon. It uses the fine hair that covers its body to sense air currents and predict its enemies' actions. Umbreon. When darkness falls, the rings on its body begin to grow, striking fear in the hearts of anyone nearby. Leafeon. The younger they are, the more they smell like fresh grass. With age, their fragrance takes on the odor of fallen leaves. Glaceon. It lowers its body heat to freeze its fur. The hairs then become like needles it can fire. Sylveon. Sylveon cuts an elegant figure as it dances lightly around. Feel is fluttering, but its piercing moves aim straight for the opponent's weak spots. Dunsparce! If spotted, it escapes by burrowing with its tail. It can float just slightly using its wings. The Dunsparce. It drives enemies out of its nest by sucking in enough air to fill its long, narrow lungs, then releasing the air in an intense blast. Deerling. Despite Deerling's adorable appearance, farmers consider it a nuisance since it loves plant shoots and will eat them up. Sawsbuck. Though there are many enthusiasts for Sawsbuck as a species, this seasonal form in particular is not very popular. Oh, poor winter form. Girafarig. Girafarig's tail has a smaller head. It instinctively bites any opponent that approaches the Pokemon from behind. Ferrigiraf. The hardened head from the tail protects the head of the main body as Farigiraf whips its long neck around to headbutt enemies. Grimer. When two of these Pokemon bodies are combined together, new poisons are created. Muck. It's so stinky! That's it. Muck's body contains toxic elements and any plant will wilt when it passes by. Mastiff. Its well-developed jaw and fangs are strong enough to crunch through boulders, and its thick fat makes for an excellent defense. Mabostiff. Mabostiff loves playing with children. Though usually gentle, it takes on an intimidating look while protecting its family. Toxel. This selfish, attention-seeking Pokemon stores poison and electricity in 2 different sacs inside of its body. Toxtricity. As it gulps down stagnant water and generates electricity in its body, a sound-like rhythm, played by a bass guitar, reverberates all around. Dedenne. Dedenne emit electrical waves from the whiskers on their cheeks to communicate with each other. When low on electricity, they curl up and sleep. I might actually end things off here, and for the next episode, so we're up to 200 out of 400, and in the next part, I'm going to go through the other half of the decks. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you all have a good one.